Are you gonna be in this one?
You want to be in it with us?
You can be in it if you want to. You want to? You want to have a cameo?
You get a streaker. You can take your clothes off and run in the background. No? Okay.
Oh boy.
Not all the way.
We are live. Yep, we're good to go. Let's find it. Welcome everybody to the best part about, I finally got the mic situation figured out. So
Nice.
we don't have to talk really, really loud.
It's even better.
Because I used to talk really loud, not sure if the microphones worked or not. Well, these work good enough, it just distorts. So now I have to
Now you have to
kind of calm down. My voice already carries. Here real quick I'm going to share it so everybody can have some fun with us. All right, get some beer. All right. Welcome to the Lumber Lounge and Garage. It is Bench Racing Monday Night Live show. Cold beers. We are here at Trifecta Motorsports Shop again tonight. Shane had a prior engagement once again. It is what it is. Life happens. But before we get started with our special guest tonight, as always, cheers to you. Cheers to Chap. Cheers to Ed, Trav, everybody. Let's have a good show. Kris Carroll does not drink.
I don't like the taste.
Well, I don't either.
I'm a kid at heart. What can I say?
Right. Welcome.
Thanks.
For and it just sounds so bad when I say this. Thanks for being so last minute.
That's okay.
Our original guest was supposed to be Corey Ballard. With the Outlaw Nationals moving the day back, it kind of threw off everybody's schedule. So I appreciate you coming last minute.
Yeah, no problem.
I've been wanting to have you on either way.
Perfect.
There's a lot of history between me and you that we didn't know about. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Before we dive into that, though, we always like to talk about a little bit of racing that happened over the weekend, whether it be the World of Outlaws or OCRS or the Outlaw Nationals, brought to you by T2 Promotions. So me and Bobby, Mr. Janky, we went down to the old OCRS race in Meeker Friday night.
Saw Jake Nell pick that one up.
He did.
First time out.
Dude, I was very happy for him. He looked good. I went down there with Garth Kasner.
Yeah.
Me and Bobby did. And, man, we had a good night.
Yeah.
Learned a lot. Garth did good. Just not wrecking in that A-main was kind of a blessing. 2 cars ballparked it. I thought Danny Smith was fixing to ballpark it. But, dude, the cushion was gnarly. It curved up so bad. But, anyway. And then we had the Outlaw Nationals, which you ran at Port City Raceway.
You call it that. We tried.
You were there,
We
right?
were there.
Friday, got the full show in Friday.
Yeah.
We rained out without rain on Saturday.
Cold it out.
Which
better weather.
I will tell you this, I did get to see the radar that night, and the rain just sat there south
Just
and never
barely
came.
missed us.
Yeah. So, but that happens.
Of course.
It happens. So they re-ran the race or finished the race yesterday.
Yeah.
So tell everybody how your weekend went.
It was a rough one. We struggled a little bit Friday night, especially in qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Moved forward a little bit in the heat race. Wasn't enough. Started the back of the qualifier. Ran 5th. Put us on the pole of the B. We won the B and started in the back of the field and rolled around for about half of it and pulled off to race another day.
Yeah.
Went a lap down. Just wasn't worth tearing anything up or.
Yeah.
So.
It happens.
Yeah. And,
Smart racing.
Yeah. And, they rained out or whatever Saturday night, but sitting there Sunday, weather was much better.
Oh, way better.
It was beautiful.
Way better
and
yesterday, yeah.
Shane
I agree.
and track crew, they did a heck of a job getting the show in. So.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before we came on, about how good the track lasted and how it held up. And you, unfortunately, wasn't able to. You didn't get enough time in the work area. We'll have to talk to Talon about that. No, I'm just playing. It happens. But since you got knocked out, you got to watch the A main.
Yeah.
So what was your like? This is what I liked about it, about the whole weekend, is you had the Steven Snyders, the Cannon McIntoshes, the Kris Carrolls, the Jeffrey Newells, the Frank Floods. You had them all there.
Yeah.
Right. Even KJ Snow came.
He was fast.
Yeah.
All
He
weekend.
was. Chad Boat built some really nice cars. We all know that. They are. Anybody gets in their cars and they're fast.
Yes, of course.
Outside looking in, what'd you think of the A main?
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, rubber down the last few laps, but 50-lap show with soft tires, that's going to happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with Snyder wrecking, that was kind of threw a wrench into it. But
yeah, which it's I don't know. It was so uncommon for him to do that last year, right? And then leading the shootout and leading the Outlaw Nationals. Or not, he wasn't leading this at the Outlaw Nationals. He was running second because KJ got back by him.
Yep.
But, I felt like it was a good race. I got to watch the recap today. It sucks when you have unfortunate luck.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I know that you have everything it takes to be up front at that place. Any race.
We struggled in the qualifier at that one, too, so had to go out and won the B feature again and started at the back, and first couple laps knocked down the right rear and just didn't get back out there quite quick enough.
Is it Bobby's fault?
Nah.
I'm just playing.
Nah, it's probably Chad's fault.
It was Chad's fault. It's always Chad's fault. Always Chad's fault. And then the Outlaws raced. No, that was last week. That was last week when we were doing Thorson's show. Yep, that was last week. We actually were watching that as we were having the show. It's so wacky at the beginning of the year. Of course, OCRS got rained out Saturday, which they did get rain. The radar definitely had rain over them. So I'm glad we weren't stuck in the hole there.
Yeah, because if it rains at all, you get stuck in me.
Yep. So past the racing weekend, now we're Kris Carroll. We got to go back to work. Because you are a working man. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we just had the conversation. How many days you've had off since Chili Bowl?
Let's see, 2 or 3 full weekends off. Work most Saturdays and Sundays, but got to pay the bills.
Got to pay the bills.
I mean, racing's fun, but with 3 kids, got to take care of them.
Yeah, and Mama.
Yeah, she's pretty easygoing.
It's not what you said before we came on the show.
No, I said she might be grumpy. That's different. She's still easygoing most of the time.
I know. She's always been so nice to me, and your whole family is too. So, what? Freaking Kiwi Line Landscape. What a great sponsor.
What's Woody saying now?
I found it.
Finally?
Yeah.
Hi, Woody. Welcome in.
Yeah, hi, Woody. Welcome to the show. Man, I can't seem to get my microphone where it's not bothering me. Maybe that'll work better. I don't know. I get talk.
Put it in your beard.
I'll lose it then. Everybody's here. Justin Pack, what's up? Joe Snyder, what's up? Stewie Lewis, I gotta say hi to everybody that's down here.
Hi, everybody.
Steve Dixon, what's up? Hey, Chris. Okay, we're caught up now. So, what I want to talk to you about the most is because you are a working guy, and you still go out and you compete, and you are up front every night, especially at Port. Even the big races, like you show up and you're in contention. What does it take to be that, right? Like it's not. I mean, you got to have talent, obviously, right? But like you got to have a lot of parts around you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
big group.
Yeah.
The Chad Layer, man, we started working together 6 or 7 years ago. I mean, before then, was running Mike Lovelace's Sawyer car. That was kind of my first ride outside of our family stuff. My grandpa put me and my brother, we shared a car whenever I turned 16. That's when we first got into the micro stuff. We were going to run Will Rogers. I ran one night, blew a motor up, and they shut down. So I was going to run Restrictor, but at Port, you 16 and up's got to run A class.
Yeah.
So I hadn't had one practice in the car. Got thrown to the wolves. It was a rough few weeks and a lot of learning. But no, it takes a big group. Wife and kids, they the support they give.
Most of the time he's in a cast.
Well, he's been in a few of them. Colton's over there for everybody at home.
Yeah.
You want to come say hi? No, not right now. Maybe before it's over.
You
Come on.
say hi? All right, we'll wait. Need some liquid courage? That's what it takes for me.
He wants to drive a race car so bad.
I can see it.
It's-
You can see it at the racetrack. Yeah.
Not yet.
We'll get into that.
We'll get there later, yeah. But
so going back, you drove your grandfather's car.
yeah,
You got thrown to the wolves.
yeah.
So, for the people that don't know, like, what made you want to race?
Well-
was it because I don't know either.
Okay.
This is the best part about doing these interviews because I don't know, right? Like it fills me in on you. So, what made you want to race?
My first trip to the racetrack was at 1 week old. Went and watched my Uncle Kenny. Kenneth Walker's my uncle. Really? Yeah, okay. Shout out to all those motors that him and Robbie built this weekend, too.
Man.
They showed up at Meeker, didn't they?
One in.
They,
I think
they're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But-
RTR, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, started watching him growing up. That and my mom married Bob Paper. That was my stepdad for a long time. He drove a car out at Tulsa Speedway. So, and watching my grandpa drive out there. So ever since I was real little, I wanted to. Crawled into a quarter midget at 4.5 or 5. Ran that until I was about 10. Quit doing that to play competitive soccer. Played soccer.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Could have went and done that, but decided to go be an airplane mechanic instead.
Yeah. I knew about that. I
So,
knew about that.
but
So it's been in your blood.
Yeah.
Since day one.
I had no choice.
You have I mean, you kind of had a choice, but you don't have a choice, right?
No.
But there's a lot of. So I didn't know the Kenneth Walker deal.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of racing around you too.
Yeah.
And then your brother's name is
Craig.
Craig.
Craig Carroll.
And
Yeah.
he drove for Kenneth, right?
Uh,
Or some.
no, my cousin Mickey. He ran for a long time.
I knew Mickey did.
And then Craig runs for Risley's. His father-in-law
I
is
know
Kevin
his
and Dina
car.
Risley. Mhm.
But I remember him driving a red micro.
Yeah, that was my grandfather's stuff.
Okay.
So we ended up buying, well, after the first
Number 6, right?
33.
I was way off.
Yeah.
3 plus 3 is 6, though.
That's close, right? Yeah, that's 2. But no, after the first year of the micro stuff, he and I were swapping cars out, and Grandpa finally, it's like, okay, we got to have 2 cars, so.
That's what I feel bad for Darren Stewart.
Why?
I don't feel bad for him.
Why?
I mean,
don't feel
2
sorry
cars.
for him.
I don't. Real quick, Steve Dixon wants to know, hey Chris, you racing the same team in the midgets for the Turnpike Challenge? We will get to that.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Get to that in a
yes.
minute. But so we'll get to that in a minute. And then ask Kris Carroll about a fuel receipt from Larry Adkins.
Fuel receipt.
I don't know.
I guess I missed that one. Unless it's talking about my grandpa always asking for receipts, because my
Maybe.
my grandma is big on getting racing receipts.
Yeah, Joe Snyder, Chris, did Kenny run NCRA in the early 2000s? Kenneth Walker.
Maybe.
I think he did.
I'm
he
going
did
to
run
say
some.
probably
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Early 2000s, I was like 7.
Yeah. And Doug Crumless, he said, heck yeah, I know the quarter midget kid. And Clint Wilson, as always, he said the snow. What did he say? The snow show.
The snow show.
Yeah. So, shout out to Clint. His son raced down in Meeker and did really well.
Okay, nice.
So they had a good little weekend. But so your grandfather, you got into that. You got going. Have you with the Kenneth Walker side and all that? Did you ever want to get into a sprint car?
Growing up, yeah. I mean, it'd still be fun too.
Yeah.
I've hot lapped one once after a night out at Kellyville one night.
Creekadega?
Creekadega. Just never have. Just never, I don't know. it's hard to pass up being able to run 2 classes at Port City.
With your family,
It's
night in,
yeah.
every weekend.
It's hard to drive past Port City to go anywhere else.
Well, no, I agree with that.
It's
well,
hard
with your
to.
job, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's
that
hard to
makes
get
it
away.
tough too.
I know that you get to go to some of the bigger races, and I'm sure that's planned out. Right?
Of course, yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. Like, I didn't know, but you have driven a midget.
Oh, I have, yes, a couple times.
Yep. You drove for Kevin Reed
I did.
in a midget.
Yeah. Very first time ever in his stuff.
Yep. And who else have you driven a midget for?
Kevin Ramey.
Oh, you did. That's right.
Mm-hmm. The last 2
That's
Chili
right.
Bowls and some last year for
That's right.
Kevin.
And now you're gonna run with Eric Fenton for the
Jet Motorsport team.
Jet Motorsports team for the Power I West.
Yep.
Or just kind of.
We're planning on hitting all the Power I West, and then we'll hit a few here and there as we can with fitting it into the micro schedule and what's close, and of course.
Right.
And as always, looking for help. There's room on the car.
Right. Yeah, for sure. There's always room on the car, right? We actually had. I came down here yesterday with my son, and my brother has a sprint car team, and so we were talking about different stuff, and you got to fill spaces somehow, and it's not a cheap hobby.
No.
Golf is not a cheap hobby either, but it's way cheaper than racing, right? What's the biggest race you've won?
Oh, Tulsa Shootout, hands down. Biggest race. Start on the pole, led every lap, had to turn 30 good laps, never left the bottom of the racetrack.
No.
Never once.
You?
Never. Yeah. But that's Chad and I talked right before we went out. 30 good laps right around the bottom. That's all we needed.
That's it.
Worked out.
I've got to be on that stage. It was junior sprint. A drill.
Hey, that's the
Dude, it's so wild when you get on that stage and you're just like, holy crap, man, this is cool.
Nothing else like it.
And you want to get back there so bad. You know what I mean? Like,
Came close a couple more times.
dude, it's nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking. I found out in a roundabout way. I was talking to my father-in-law one day, and we're talking about racing, and he said, well, I had this kid that worked for me, which I can't do the accent. The heavy New York accent.
New York accent.
Yeah. And he said, this kid that worked for me, he raced. He was the best help I ever had. He goes, and then he went to aeronautical school or whatever. And I said, oh, really? I said, what was his name? And he goes, I can't remember. And he finally remembered. He goes, Carroll. I think Kris Carroll. And I said, what? No, Kris Carroll.
Dennis is awesome.
A small world, you know what I mean?
That was a fun summer.
He's still doing it.
Is he? Gosh, dang.
Yeah.
That was a long summer, hot summer.
Oh, yeah.
That summer, if I remember right, it was 25 or 30 days over 100 degrees.
Oh,
in a row. It was fun.
Dennis knows how to pull up to them gas pumps at Quick Trip and sit in the shade, though.
Oh, yeah.
He don't care how long he sits there. He ain't getting gas.
No?
He's
Nope.
eating his lunch and cooling off.
I don't think he ever parks in an actual spot.
He does that everywhere.
He pulls in the gas station,
Yeah.
gas pump.
No, I'm very fortunate to have Dennis as a father-in-law, and when he said that, like, you hear that about Kris Carroll no matter what, right? You always have a smile on your face. You're always having fun. At least we see that,
What?
right?
That's what this is all about.
Oh, dude, it is, and that's, I told that to Garth and Joe Friday night. I was like, if we ain't having fun, we shouldn't even be here.
Might as well load up.
Yeah,
It's too expensive not to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, sometimes it's too expensive to even be there.
Oh, well, of course.
But so what else makes Kris tick? So tell them what you do for your day job. Obviously, we've talked about aeronautical and all that stuff. So tell them what you do.
So I work at it's now Lufthansa Technic Engine Services. We are a German-owned company. We just switched from BizJet. It's right across the street from the Tulsa Zoo. If you're leaving the zoo, you look over to the right, you'll see our building.
Okay.
Blue and white building there. But so I started there in 2013. I started in the engine shop. We overhaul jet engines, overhaul and do heavy maintenance on jet engines. So I started out in the engine shop, working on the jet engines. About 4 years in, I moved over to the test cell. So after we finished working on them, we got to run all the engines. So basically, it is a big jet engine dyno, is what it is. So we burn, yeah, it shakes the whole building. It's a really cool job. Someone like me should not be allowed to play with $1 million jet engines, but.
So when you dyno these engines, what do you just dyno them just to make sure that like they stay together?
More or less. So we check for the different parameters and stuff, basically to make sure that they all meet the requirements to go on wing to stay safe, to keep people in the sky. So
well, here lately we've had some problems with that.
Yeah, that's another story.
I mean, stuff happens, right? Like
if
helicopters flying in the middle of the night and hitting planes. I mean, it's kind of conspicuous. But you know what? We're not going to talk about things like that.
No, let's not go down
what
that road.
made you want to be in the aeronautical industry?
My Uncle Kenny and Bob, again, my stepdad. Stepdad.
Yeah.
We call Bob stepdad. He grew up, let's see, him and my mom were together for a long time. So, yeah, we'll call him stepdad. But he works at American. My Uncle Kenny works at American. So, is it in? Good shot. There it is. But
how far was that? Hold on. How far is that from here to there?
30-footer, easy.
30-footer.
At least.
Curry range.
30-footer, Clint Wilson. Sorry.
It's all right.
Gil McLaughlin asked me if I had a DD.
I'll take you home.
I got double D's.
I don't believe it. They are getting bigger, though.
So, do you check horsepower on jet engines?
Thrust. It's
Okay.
pounds of thrust.
Okay.
So the biggest engine we run is roughly 30,000 pounds of thrust. So roughly, some of our bigger customers are more commercial size.
Right.
We have some private stuff that we do, like private jet stuff that we do too.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Wow.
Burn thousands of gallons of fuel and go nowhere.
So, did you hear about the tanker today?
No?
So there was
No.
a U.S. oil tanker up by the Netherlands in the North Sea
Okay.
that collided with another. This is not a joke. This really happened. With another ship. They didn't say what it was. It's foggy conditions, but it had it was all jet fuel. It was all jet fuel on the U.S. oil tanker. It was all jet fuel. Yeah. It's crazy.
Did it melt the steel beams?
It's still on fire right now. Literally, when I never watched the news, right?
Yeah.
Like it's depressing.
It is.
But everybody should watch the Lumber Lounge and Garage every Monday night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, of course.
Watch bench racing.
That's
But
that's not depressing though.
no.
That's
No.
is it news? News at 8.
Yeah,
Let us
news
know.
at 8. Yep. Sean Hamilton, what up? We didn't see it. I got proof that I made it. Okay. Germans drink warm beer. Oh, yeah. Any fighter jet engines
No fighter jet, no government stuff. So
that you can talk about?
no, well, we did. So NASA had some trainer stuff that we worked on whenever I first started there. Some of the older type engines we ran, but
So you say you overhaul them.
Mm-hmm.
So how many, I guess it's hours or is it flight miles?
it depends. So our commercial side, it's more of hospital visits. So they come in, they typically have something wrong with them. The shop fixes them, we run them and send them back out. Our private side, they're all basically time based. So it's every 10 years they come in for a midlife or an overhaul.
Okay. So how long does it take to rebuild one? Does it depend on what happened to it?
Yeah, it depends on the work scope. But the overhaul stuff, a month and a half.
That's not bad.
They tear them down, completely
That's
rebuild
quicker than
everything.
some 410 engine builders. Quicker than Stanton for damn. Oh wait. Oh, sorry.
You ever kill
Sometimes
one on
I-
the
No, we've had some fires, but never blown one all the way up.
Ooh.
Thank goodness.
That was my
Hope we don't. That's
So how big is that room? Is it bigger than the shop?
yeah. It is.
How do we get a tour?
You can. Gotta fill out a background check and stuff, but.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah, you're out. You're out.
Can you fly?
Yeah.
Okay, then you could probably come.
I use a different name though.
Well.
No, I'm just playing. So, man, I'm so intrigued by this the jet engines. Like, obviously, there's different sizes, right? So if you're on a big commercial, it's going to be bigger. And when I envision a jet engine, it's just like a big turbine, right?
Yeah.
And then I think I have a friend. I think
Maybe
that
one or
sounded
two.
weird.
You may have one or two.
Another guy I know. He is like a traveling mechanic.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think it's for American. But what's his last name? His brother runs the. He lives in Owasso. His brother runs the Harley Davidson service over here at Route 66. What's his name? He's gonna be mad at me because he watches the show. Anyway,
You might be on there. Say it's me, dummy.
there's a lot of that industry in Tulsa.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of background about my wife's family. Her uncle Mike moved here in the 80s to go work for American.
Okay.
Well, then my mother-in-law and father-in-law followed.
Right.
And my wife, she's probably going to correct me because I'm always wrong, right? But he came down here. They came down here, and Dennis was gonna try and get on an American, and he got like all the way through, and then they did a hiring freeze.
Yeah.
And so then they
do that
moved
a lot.
back.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
They had my sister-in-law while they were back in New York, and then they came back here. And when he came back, they wouldn't hire family members anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. And so then that's when he worked for True Green, and then that's how he started the lawn deal. So my whole family, my in-laws, they all moved here because of the aeronautical industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just kind of... But I feel like Tulsa is a transplant community, right? There's people that have lived here for 70 years, like Steve.
Yeah.
And then...
70 years. He's not quite that old.
I don't think he heard me. If he did, he's going to hit me. But if you look like where I live, out in my neighborhood in Broken Arrow, like it's all, where are you from? They don't ask you where you went to high school. Where are you from? But I think that's what makes Tulsa kind of like cool. I'm not from here.
Yeah.
I'm from Kansas City. My wife's lived here her whole life.
Would you move anywhere else now, though?
Man, no, because I don't even want to go back home. I mean, I do. Here's the thing. Like, I do want to go back home. Like, I miss being around my friends and my family that I have. But I'm still close. I'm only 3 hours away.
We're right in the middle.
Dude, and like that's the thing. Like in 4.5, 5 hours, I can be in any major city.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like 6 if I want to go to Memphis.
Yep.
Right? It's just so wild. I like being here. It's good for my kids. My kids get to go to Sunday dinner every Sunday at Dennis and Angela's house, and Noni and Grampy. So it's pretty cool.
So has Dennis told you the go-kart stories of whenever?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But we can tell it. I want to hear your version.
Wow, man, that was so long ago.
Ford Glass brought us here in the 70s. That's what Steve Dixon said. I didn't know they had a glass plant here. I know there's a glass plant in Sapulpa that does beer bottles.
There used to be one over in Broken Arrow. It used to be right off of the Broken Arrow Expressway, but I think it closed down.
Yeah.
I think it's a chip.
It's not there anymore. But there's that bottling company over in Sapulpa. Hold on. My wife's texting me. I know you're live, but if I don't...
She's correcting you on the story already?
Oh. No, she's asking about my son during parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, good or bad?
Babe, I'll let you know when I'm done with the live show.
Good or bad?
So my daughter's parent-teacher conferences are tomorrow night, so we got to figure out what we're going to do with Luca. It's kind of bad you put him in a kennel.
Yeah.
He kind of needs to be in one.
We've got some tomorrow night too. Colton, how's that going to go? Okay.
Good. Are you the number one student in the class? He's like, nope.
Man, all A's and B's though. I will say that. His brother, same way though. All A's and B's.
How old is Colton?
Colton is 8.
8?
He's in 2nd grade.
And then we have little brother.
No,
Older brother?
he's the middle one. Camden is 10.
Okay.
He is in 4th grade.
Okay.
And then we have the Spitfire 3-year-old.
Princess.
Oh my gosh, she's a mess. Dirt princess. She's gonna be the fastest one out of all of them.
Yeah, she'll be faster than you, bro.
For now.
Faster than you, bro.
She's meaner though. That's the problem.
You know, my wife always says that, which obviously it's a joke, but if we would have had our son before we had our daughter, we probably wouldn't have our daughter. Like, he's wild. He's so wild.
Carly's Chad's fault. It's gonna sound bad,
It's always
but
Chad's
it's Chad's fault.
It's always chance.
Yeah, we were supposed to go to Indiana for the Peru, Indiana for the non-wing world championship or whatever, 10,000 win show they had there in Peru. His mom got sick and we canceled, and 9 months later we had Carly. So we picked up both wins that night at Port too. So that
there
was
you go. That's probably why you got to celebrate.
I don't know.
So what? Your wife is so supportive of you. Does she work too, or she?
Oh yeah, no, she works.
Does she?
Mhm.
Okay.
She works at a pediatrics office.
Oh, nice.
She's been
Get that
there.
discount? Nope.
Yes and no.
Something.
Nah, you
My
know.
wife works for a dermatologist, so I don't get anything
Yeah.
except checking my moles all the time.
That's.
No.
You have a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm ginger.
It works out that
I'm
way.
a ginger. Yep. Rod Hurley's watching. I love Rod Hurley. You Rod Hurley?
I don't think I've ever met him.
Man, he's such a nice guy.
Yes.
If you need a camper, go to Bob Hurley RV.
Yeah.
Rod will hook you up. Him or Jake or anybody they got over there.
Okay.
I gotta plug him every now and again.
Of course.
He's
Might
helped
as
me a
well.
bunch.
Nice.
He's like a.
Never know when you're gonna need your
He's
next
like
one.
he's like the second dad I always wanted, but when he's really honest with me, I really don't want to listen to him.
And that's
But
the
I
best
listen
kind of
him
people to
anyway,
have.
right?
Gotta have those honest
He'll
people.
tell you when you're screwing up. You know what I mean?
Those are the best people to have.
They are for sure. So your wife works, kids go to school.
Yeah.
You're like the all-American dad.
I don't know about that.
No,
We just have fun.
man, that's what I love about you. Again, every time I see you, it's always the big hand wave from Kris Carroll. I love it. Are you excited about running the full power ideal this year?
I am. Never have ran full for a midget championship anything. Still looking for that first midget win. Passed a lot of cars at the Chili Bowl a few years ago. Been in some really good stuff. I think it'll be fun.
Ramey has nice stuff.
Ramey does have nice stuff. They're a good crew. I like them a lot.
Yep.
It just after the Chili Bowl, Eric shot me a message and, hey, what's your plans for this year? I said, I don't know. Let me call Kevin and ask him. And Eric's wanting to run the full Power West deal. Kevin's like, you'll get more seat time. You might as well take it. So
Yeah, because they still race some sprint cars.
Oh, yeah.
Themselves, yeah.
and Dylan getting into the sprint car stuff this
Yeah,
year.
he'll wreck.
I don't know.
Dylan.
He's
I
a
like
fighter.
Dylan.
Dylan's
I
awesome.
didn't say that. I just know he might wreck. You never know.
Dylan's awesome.
No, Dylan. The whole Ramey family. I've known them for years, even before Dylan was around and Mackenzie was around. But it's cool to see him kind of dive off into the midget world, and how they did it in the beginning, like trying to build their own car and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it's just Kevin's Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you go to Texas, and you got to deal with at Devil's Bowl. God, the dude was so hard to beat. It didn't matter. 305, 360, it didn't matter. Like they're in Cowtown, man. Ooh.
Even TMS last year. I think
Yeah.
he picked up one, or at least top two there
Yeah.
a couple nights they were there.
Yeah, I think he kind of runs out of breath now.
Well,
He's
he's
getting
getting
up
older.
there.
Yeah.
Don't tell him I said that. He'd beat my ass. Oh, that answers this question, Steve. So, Power Out West.
Yeah.
I kind of lose track every now and again because I try to look at the screen. That's where it's nice having somebody like Shane,
Yeah.
where he can start asking questions while I'm, you know what I mean?
He can keep track with it.
Yeah. Well, me and Shane are both lost pretty much the whole time we're doing it.
I didn't say that about Shane. You did.
Yeah. Oh no, he'll say it too.
I know.
we talk all the time about, like, because there's times where as soon as the show's over, like, I'm calling him, he's calling him, oh, that's great show. We're like, man, we got to figure this out, you know? Like, we did something wrong, you know? But no, it's fun to do. Yeah, I get to interview people like you and get to learn about you, right? Like, outside of the racetrack, and that's what we want for the people that are watching. We want to know Kris for who Kris is, right? I learned that you were Pele, basically.
I don't know about Pele.
So you're white. What did you play? What position did you play?
I played all over.
Really?
So my senior year of high school, I was playing on a competitive team and playing for the high school team.
And you said verdigris?
Verdigris, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was playing sweeper, which is defense, for the high school team, and I was playing striker and forward for my club team.
Nice.
So
I know
all in between.
About this much about soccer because when I was in college, a lot of people don't know that I went to college.
Yeah.
I was the announcer for the soccer games.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so I had to learn a little bit. I had to get really good at saying goal.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often.
Extending it out?
Yeah, I tried.
Nice.
But so I announced all the soccer games and then all the JV girls and boys basketball games.
Nice.
When I was in
Oh, yeah,
college.
nice.
Yeah. And the soccer games were the best pay because it took forever and I didn't have to say much.
Right.
I had to do like the starting
Long
lineups.
and that's
I did the
it.
starting lineups and then 1 minute. You know? Like you got to do that before half. And then if somebody scores.
Of course.
Like there's no like play-by-play in soccer. Right?
Where'd you go to college at?
Friends University.
Okay.
That's where I met Cody Cordell.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's heard the story about me and Cody Cordell. Yeah, he got a 1.7 GPA because he hung out with me his first semester at college.
You wouldn't let him cheat off you?
No, he just didn't show up to class.
Or yours just
I'd get
wasn't
him
much
drunk.
better?
I'd get him drunk, and then he just wouldn't show up to class, and I did, and he didn't. But it was me getting him drunk part that I guess.
That got him in trouble?
Yeah. Yeah, I've told the story before. I'll tell you. So I was a senior. He was a freshman. I was in student government. I was actually vice president of senior class. And we had like freshman weekend, like first weekend. And we had it's like it's not a party because it's a Christian university, right?
Right.
But it's
Okay.
like
It's a get together.
Freshman orientation type
Gotcha.
weekend, right?
All we know how to do.
And so I walk in and I have on a Jason Myers sprint car shirt.
Friends
And
instantly.
I had just got back from Knoxville Nationals, and there's Cody. And I'm just standing there, and he walks up to me, and he goes, "Where'd you get that shirt from?" And I said, "I got it when I said, I just got back from Knoxville from the Nationals." "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You like sprint cars?" I was like, "Yeah, I work on them in the summers." "Oh, you do?" It's like, "Yeah, I do." He goes, "Well, who do you work for?" I said, "Tony Bruce Jr." "Oh, okay." I said, "Do you like racing?" He goes, "Yeah, I race micros." I went, "You do." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm the NMMRA national champion or something." And I was like, and in my mind, I'm like, there's no way. Like, I didn't know a lot about micros then, but I'm like, you're the center on the football team. Like, how did you fit in this thing? And sure enough, man, like, he was like, so anyway, long story short, like, he kind of was like, yeah, whatever to me, and I was, yeah, whatever to him, and next thing you know, like, as soon as he'd get out of football practice, he's over drinking beer, playing Sprint Cars 2001, and me and him have been friends ever since, and I love Cody to death, and cool to see him in the position that he's in with World Racing Group and ASCS, and
it's awesome.
You know, with his background in racing and everything he's done, it's so awesome to see, and then, you know, with him and Carrie starting that family and having 2 little girls, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So,
heck yeah, it is.
Stewie Lewis. Okay, so actually Rod Hurley, who is wheeling that 25 Dirty Air car this year? Scott Boguski. So I can't say his nickname because Scott will get mad at me. He hates it. I told him I was going to put it on the car.
Nice.
It's my brother's car, but I'm going to help him with the graphics. And he was like, "Oh, man, don't do that. I hate it."
Should hide it somewhere.
Yeah.
Little in the numbers or something.
Put it underneath the
floor
pan.
pan.
Now, if I put it on the floor pan and we see that, my brother might get rid of him. But yeah, so Scott Bagushi's driving the car for my brother this year. It is the Giddings Motorsports car. You out of here?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Close.
It is the Giddings Motorsports car this year, number 78. We will release the design of the new car shortly.
Okay.
But it turned out pretty good.
Nice.
It's all white, gray,
Gold.
a little bit of gold, maybe a gold tooth in there. So yeah, so that's who's driving. It's not the 25 anymore. It's
Not
not the
25.
Deuce 5. Nope, it is number 78.
Not that flat gray.
Nope.
Pretty flat gray.
Nope, not anymore. It is. Yeah, I'll show you while we're on live TV. They don't get to see it. How about that? Let me see.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. It's clean.
Yep. So that's working with a guy right now to get it printed
Nice.
and get that rolling. Stewie Lewis, I still have my FU shirt. Fuzzy face got me a long time ago. Yeah. That was the thing. Like we couldn't yell FU because it's a Christian university.
Of course, right?
But it used to say on the sign, Friends University of Central Kansas.
Right.
FUCK. It's a Quaker university. It's so what?
They did that
So
on
what?
purpose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Quakers. So I asked this to almost everybody because
Yeah.
sometimes I forget. What is your top 5 races that you've either won or you want to win?
Ooh.
Obviously, we know shootout, right?
Yeah.
You want to repeat that one.
I would love to repeat that one.
Yeah.
Been close a couple times. Man. That's a tough one. I would really like to win a big money show. I have never won more than $2,000 in a race.
I would have never thought that.
I have never.
I would have never
any
thought that.
big money
Especially in a
race.
micro.
Yeah, because they get 5s and 10s out like there's.
I have never. The shootout paid $1,000 to win the year I won. It went up the next year. It went up the next year.
Cool.
But
What class was it? Non-wing?
non-wing outlaw
Non-wing outlaw.
with a stock motor. Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Just putting the bottom.
So
Yeah,
you-
just
actually,
rolling,
so-
rolling it.
I want you to finish this. 'Cause I
Yeah.
have another question about your cars, but so we got shootout.
Shootout.
Back it up. Big money race.
Big money
matter
race.
where.
Doesn't matter where. Well, it'd be fun to win in at SIR.
Oh yeah.
We've
High
been
banks.
close.
Sprague or the high banks.
Yeah, Sprague. Last couple years we've been close. Let's see. Another one that was really special to me. Terry Maddox used to put on the Terry Walker Memorial Race for my grandpa. Got to pick that one up. That was cool. Pete Frazier picked that one up. Won pretty much all the big shows at Port except for the Outlaw Nationals. Third last year. Third last. Yeah.
You won't give up.
No, we don't run big wings much anymore. That's tough.
So we found out that when I was 18, you were 5. So that means you're way younger than me, and you don't have any quit in you.
No,
So I mean, I feel like you can still get there.
I hope so. I'm running against some young kids though. I'm old enough to be some of their dads, so that's.
This is true.
Frank and I are showing our age there a little bit. He's older than I am too, so.
I know. Is he 40 yet?
But no.
Are you gonna come say hi yet?
What race do you want me to win? Come here, put that down. Come here and tell everybody what race you want me to win. What's a race that you want me to win? You got to turn around and say hi. You got to wave and say hi, mommy. And hi, Uncle Roscoe.
Hi, Uncle Roscoe.
And Uncle Craigie and Uncle Rooster.
You gotta say it.
Hi, Uncle Greggy. Hi, Uncle Rooster.
Okay.
So what race do you want your dad to win?
Chili Bowl.
The Chili Bowl.
That chili bowl, the bowl of chili.
Brother, if we make the A main at the Chili Bowl, that's a win. I'll be 100% honest with you. Making the A main at
That
Chili
is a
Bowl
win,
is a
brother.
win.
That is a win.
I mean,
That is a win for sure.
not last Chili Bowl, one before racing after opening ceremonies was a win.
So,
Like,
okay, so
that's
we talked about this. So back when we had the Chad Wheeler cars,
yeah,
our whole goal was to be in the night show.
yeah, that's it.
That's what we wanted to be. If we were still racing after the cameras went live, we had a
That's-
successful Chili Bowl.
You mean when Mav TV took over?
Yeah. Like we do, like we were realists, right? Like I mean, if we happen to make it to the A main, great, right? Like we won the C main one year and made it to the B main, and dude, we got to 15th, and it's just like,
Dude, professional race car
yeah,
drivers
like
all around.
what's going on here?
Running
Like,
80 to 100 midget races a year.
Yeah, and like you're fast, but you're just not fast enough because they're that much faster. Oh man, it's
tough.
just. So now we know what you want to win. We know what he wants you to win.
He's got high hopes.
High hopes.
Really high hopes.
Do you want to win the Chili Bowl?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you want to, what kind of race car do you want to race? If you could pick any race car, what kind of race car would you want to run?
Probably a NASCAR.
A NASCAR. God, going to the top pavement, huh?
You just want to get paid.
Go do it.
Yeah, for
Pay,
sure.
I'll
You're
race.
retired.
I'll keep racing the
Yeah.
dirt. I'll have your dirt cars ready.
Yeah. Yeah. What'd you say?
Nothing. I said
They're being mean.
No, not at all.
honest.
No. So I want to talk to you a little bit about your cars
Okay.
because we've kind of had the conversation when I was helping Ryder that summer.
Yeah.
And you have always been a Panhard bar guy.
Yeah.
And then you got a ladder car.
Yeah.
In your opinion, which one works best for you?
Ooh, that's tough. It depends. The Panhard bar car I can make work better on the bottom. The ladder car likes the top better. If we can ever get the ladder car to work the way my Panhard car does on the bottom, here we come.
You're good. Yeah.
We've made some strides with it. Sawyer Chassis, they've helped us out a lot. They've got some stuff coming. Should be fun.
We can't talk about what's coming.
We can't talk about what's coming. I don't have the authority to give.
Are we
to say.
are we privy to talking about anything Sawyer Chassis right now?
Of course.
So is it public?
To public, it's no.
No. Okay, then I'm not gonna say.
It's public.
Everybody
enough.
knows.
Yeah, everybody knows, but
Um,
it's gonna be it. It's good.
Kris Carroll in a TTR car in 2026.
TTR car. Oh,
Tanner Thorson racing car.
oh, I don't know.
That's from Tanner.
That's from Tanner. I don't know.
Tanner Delbert Thorson said Kris Carroll in a TTR car in 2026. Right now, this is live.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd say yes if it was me.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Of
I would love to.
Of course.
I'm
I'll bring my seat right now.
gonna have to talk to Eric because that's who I am. I'm gonna have to make sure.
2025.
It is 2025. Yes, I got. But yes, that would
Respect.
be. That would
respect,
be.
though. That's
That
respect.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's respect.
you know what Eric would say.
Sure.
Yeah, come
Go.
on now.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a margarita if you need it when you get done. You know. Well, you don't drink.
But no, that would be fun. Coolest shout out I've
Steve.
ever had.
Steve,
Over his head.
I got to go try and go 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Ooh.
Drained it on the
I'd have lost
floor.
money on that one. Tanner said we need the red couch. It's at your shop still.
It's still at
It's in your foyer. It's in your. But it's all good. The couch will come back. I actually got a request to do a casting couch shirt, so we're gonna have to do that. Gonna have to do that for sure.
You can go back and play on your iPad if you want to.
Shout out to
No?
Hoagie's Garage. They're here watching. I actually have my Hoagie's Garage shirt on. You ever been on Hoagie's Garage?
I have not.
You know what Hoagie's Garage is?
I do not.
So Hoagie's Garage is these two guys from Iowa. I have to remember. I always want to say South Dakota because they go to Houston's every Sunday. But it's Bud and Tobe,
Okay.
and they do their shows on Wednesday night. And they were the originators of what I do.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
Talking about racing and everything. And man, they asked me one time to be on their show, which I was
That's
totally
awesome.
shocked. Right?
Yeah, heck yeah.
And we've been friends ever since. And so if you are not a fan
go
of Hoagie's Garage or you like Hoagie's Garage, please go to their Facebook page.
I will
and,
have to go
give
check
them a
them out
like.
now.
Yeah, they do.
Most definitely.
So they do 2 shows every Wednesday night, and then it's actually a podcast. So they started doing the live show within the last 6 months, as they're recording.
Nice.
And then they post the podcast later. So
Nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we not get you on there.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'd
I
love
don't
to.
know. They've never really had them. I don't know if they've had micro. I think they have had some micro kids on there.
Yeah.
But,
That's all I am. I'm still a kid. I'm a micro kid. The
I'll
old,
tell you,
oldest
We
kid.
had 3 kids.
The oldest
see
kid.
this all
Yeah.
the time. Like I love it, man. Like I've actually I find myself in a habit. I did it at Meeker the other night during a yellow flag. Like I'm standing up there at the track and I see the guys that I know driving by and I'm like,
You had to wave at him. You got to.
yeah.
So I grew up at the fence at Tulsa Speedway. One thing my uncle always did pulling onto the track, waving up at us.
Tulsa Speedway.
Yeah.
Tulsa Speedway. The 60s on 66th Street?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
So
yeah.
I spent a lot of time there.
Yeah.
Back in the ASCS days when Sooner Region was
Yeah.
the toughest region.
That was tough.
But yeah, I miss that track.
Yeah.
Um,
Grew up there. It's fun.
so I grew up in Knoxville.
Yeah.
with
Yours
my
is
dad
a
racing.
little bit cooler.
Man,
Like
but
this
here's
much.
the thing, man. It's only as cool as what you want it to be, and it's kind of like my favorite Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
Is not your favorite because my
'Cause-
first Mexican restaurant is different than your first
That's
Mexican.
true.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I look at it. It just so happens that my racetrack that I grew up at is just kind of the Mecca. So,
Has the Hall of Fame. What do you mean?
yeah.
Been lucky
Yeah.
enough to go there a couple times. When Kenny was running the ASCS National Tour.
Okay, yeah.
Had
I
to
went
make
to
a
jail
trip
there.
Did you? I believe that.
I went to jail.
Um,
Public in talks.
if you haven't at Knoxville, have you even really been?
Oh yeah, no, you can really go to Knoxville and not go to jail. I promise. You can still have fun. But when you try to do a burnout on a mini chopper underneath the midway, they don't like that.
They don't. Yeah, they don't like that.
Yeah.
Too much attention.
Too much attention. Too much attention. My sidekick Toby just left for Vegas with Steve Folkens on their way to the High Limit race. Nice.
High Limit, Vegas.
Nice.
It's gonna be fun to watch.
Dude, I can't. You know, we talk about this all the time about the division, right? Like, is it really a division? But it's made 410 racing so much better.
There's a
to me,
bunch
in
of
my
it.
eyes. And it's made series like what Talon's doing with Power Eye more predominant because now we can actually have some races and you can have more of a feeder class
Yeah.
in the 410 side.
Yeah.
Like, ASCS is still considered a feeder class, but now
But you
got
can take
these-
the motor and go run.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's, dude, like racing in general, dirt track racing is just in a good spot right now. It's in a good spot with streaming. And,
Yeah.
And I mean, how many cars was at the Outlaw Nationals?
Friday night we had 75 outlaw cars. I mean, and when
And you
there's
struggle to get an outlaw full field on a Saturday night.
Ford City, yeah. I mean, dude, it's for a winged outlaw race. I was surprised that there were that many cars, and you know, there were 25 or 30 guys that could win that show.
Oh.
Like, I mean, there's so many fast guys.
Dude, and you go to those big races, and that's what it's about. Like, you're there to race the best of the best. And we've talked about different formats for big races and how things should happen, and it should be tough.
Yeah.
Bye, Steve.
Bye.
Love you.
Thanks
Love
for
you.
having us
Love-
over.
Love you, Puddin'. See you next Tuesday. That's see you and never mind. I love Steve. Big shout out to Steve and Bobby for letting me invade their shop on Monday nights sometimes. They been very gracious to me. And the other reason we didn't go to Bob's Turn 5, not because Shane isn't here, but it was cleaning night because the day got pushed
Day before,
back. And
got
so
pushed back, yeah.
It was cleaning night at Bob's Turn 5, so we didn't need to
Sure,
make
it
any
needs clean
messier.
sometimes, especially
Yeah.
after race nights.
Yeah. There's a few places I could say they need to be cleaned around. A lot of places.
Especially after race night.
Yes. Billy Billhauer just said it's time for me to shotgun a beer. I'm sorry, I do not shotgun beer. I
Especially
suck
a
at
tall
it.
boy.
I
Dude,
suck at it.
The 69
Dude,
shotgun takes
I will
45 minutes.
I will look like someone. I can't say it because there's a child here. That
He's fine.
That has a gag reflex,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
will. I try every 4th of July. It's a tradition.
Yeah.
with my father-in-law's best friend. We call him Uncle Tim. And, dude, he dominates us. He has seen it in person. Like, it's literally like he opens his and it's just like, oh, I'm done. And we're all sitting there going, ooh, dude, trying to, yeah.
Where
And
did
he
that
does
go?
it with old style. Well, if you've seen Uncle Tim, he's a big boy.
Uncle Tim.
Uncle Tim, he's a big boy. He gave away some shirts to my buddy, one of my best friends, Jerome, because they were 4X. And
Okay.
couldn't wear them anymore. So,
Oh, they're two. Okay,
5X,
gotcha.
actually 5X.
Gotcha.
He's just a big guy.
Yeah.
He's always been a big guy. So no, I'm not going to shotgun a beer. I'm sorry, Billy. I apologize. I love you, but I cannot shotgun a beer. I can't.
I couldn't either.
Yeah, it's. I tried that with a Mickey's when I was like 15.
Ruined you?
Like the little Mickey's. Oh, dude. Yeah, can't do that. So what else? What else does Kris Carroll do?
A lot of soccer games still. Both the boys are in soccer and basketball. Just finished up basketball season.
Nice.
Do as much as we can with them. Like to fish. Grew up doing that a lot with my grandpa
What's the
and
biggest
stuff.
fish you ever caught? Outside,
jeez.
I mean,
Here comes
the
the
best
stories.
fish.
Now, here comes the stories. Yeah.
The best fish you ever caught was your wife, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know how I caught her.
None of
I
us-
don't.
None of us know how we catch our wives.
Yeah, she's something else. She's my manager, as she self-proclaims. She asked me earlier today if she could quit her job to just do that, and I said not yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
My wife just asked me if she could quit. Not to do anything.
not to
just
do anything
quit.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Said manager position doesn't pay enough. Need more sponsors for
I
that.
told my wife I gave her a job planting tulips.
Yeah.
Can't finish that joke.
Yeah.
On live TV. Anyway. Nah, my wife goes through this every now and again where she told me she wanted to make cookies.
Yeah.
She wanted to make sugar cookies.
Yeah.
And like design them and I was like, okay, cool. So for her birthday, I got her all.
Got her stuff to do it. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Like a good husband should. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't made a cookie yet.
Yeah.
But-
That happens.
In time, it will happen. But dude, you get so busy with
Everything,
kids
dude.
and-
It's
Oh,
insane.
You have 3. I couldn't even imagine. Like we've talked about it. Like if we had a third, what would we do? Like first off, you look
the
at daycare,
same thing.
right?
The same thing you do with two. You make it happen. That's all you can do. That's.
That's true. But my wife would be pissed if we had another boy.
Well, that happens.
So I told her. So obviously Dennis had 2 girls.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I told her when we found out we were having a boy, I was like, hey, I want to name him. I want to name him Luciano.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And she was like, we live in Oklahoma. How about Luca? And I was like, oh, that's fair. Yeah. I
Close
was like,
enough.
I wanted him to have my middle name.
Okay.
I said, but I want him to be Luca Allen Genevola Giddings.
Okay. Nice.
To
carry on the
Genevola,
family name.
'cause
That's
Dennis
awesome.
is the last one.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And she's like, oh, no, that's fine. I'm like, okay,
All right. Cool.
all right.
There you go. It's that easy.
I mean, they're still both Genevolas and Greco Lucinas and concrete
The
shoes.
the mom side seems to take pretty big hold.
Yes.
That's same with
Yeah.
my as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
My
So where did you
daughters-
meet your wife?
4th grade. We were in the
No.
same 4th grade class. Yes.
No.
Yep. Both went to Broken Arrow, 4th
Did you
grade.
kiss her in 4th grade?
No, she did not like me. No, yeah.
Maybe she still does.
I had a crush on her. No, for sure she doesn't. Depends on the day. I had a huge crush on her. She was a cheerleader. Yeah, and yeah,
She
they
didn't give you the time of day?
not even close. I wasn't a football player.
So how'd you break her? That
Well,
sounded bad.
I
you
got lucky. I got lucky,
convince
but
her? Convince her. How about that?
well,
You conned her.
Yeah. Okay.
so after that, both went our separate ways. Of course, I moved to Verdigris, but one the kids I was playing soccer with, Chance Johnson, grew up with him. His cousin was on the cheer team at Broken Arrow.
Okay.
So he commented on one of my posts or whatever, and she did too. And next thing you know, we're talking. And next thing you know, we're dating.
Did
and
you slide in the DMs?
I did not. This was way pre that.
Well, you said a post.
It was a post. It was a church camp post, and she got on there and
okay.
commented on there. And next thing you know, I'm taking her to her cheer banquet because her date backed out on her, and been together ever since.
That's awesome.
It was,
I love feel-good stories.
yeah, snuck my way in.
Yeah, my wife lied to me on our first date.
Yeah.
But she had every right to not want to be around me. Because
Yeah.
I was going through a point in my life where
She helped you?
she helped me a bunch.
Good.
And still helps me to this day. Because she says I never put anything up. But, but
I don't either.
I had just went through a divorce. And,
Yeah.
I tried to get her phone number, and she was like, nah.
Didn't want to be the
It
rebound.
took a year.
That's good.
It took a year. She
That's-
finally decided to go out with me. And that was 9 years ago now.
Nice.
Yep. And I don't know what I did. I'm very fortunate. I hear it all the time. I outkicked my coverage, and which I know that. And the biggest reason that she's with me is because she is blind. I keep canceling her eye appointments.
Legally
No,
blind without some
seriously,
glasses and contacts.
I think she felt sorry for you. That's Alan Ratcliffe.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, he's talking
Oh,
about you.
Chavez.
I-
Me or you? Because
I don't know.
it could be
I don't
both.
know if he's ever even seen my wife, but so because my wife don't go to the races. So,
I was dating my wife whenever I met your wife.
really,
Yeah. So,
Oh,
how,
okay.
because I was working for
working for
Dennis.
Dennis,
So how I started working for Dennis, your sister-in-law worked with my mom.
no shit.
And she knew that I was graduating high school and knew that her dad needed some help. And off we went. She has twins, right?
Who?
My
My
sister-in-law.
sister-in-law? No, she don't have no kids.
No kids. Okay.
No.
No, I don't know why I thought that. Must have
No.
been another my mom
No.
worked with at that time.
Yeah, no,
Huh.
she doesn't have any kids. No. My sister-in-law is the best auntie
Yeah.
to my kids. She is amazing. She just turned. I can't say.
Nah, you don't have to.
But
21 again.
She
21.
is the best. Was that the Dodge? That was. Are we hearing the Suburban coming?
It's getting dark out here, so I better shut that door.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we're in a good part of town when it's
Not
not
bad.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope the car starts.
It will. It will.
Yeah, we got jumper cables. Yeah.
Chris, thank you for coming by
Yeah.
today.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, I learned a lot tonight. That was awesome.
Thanks.
I didn't know you were a soccer guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Big soccer guy.
the engines. I thought you were a mechanic on the engines, which you used to be.
Where I started.
So now you don't get your hands dirty.
Nah, we still do. We still got to hook them
You
up
gotta
and
hook 'em up,
everything.
yeah.
But and something goes wrong, we change a lot of components and fix it too.
Yeah.
But it's
I
cool.
have so many questions about that.
You
I want
have
to come out there.
Yeah.
I do.
We'll have to set that up.
I do. I'm fascinated by the weirdest stuff.
Dude, airplanes are so cool.
Yeah.
It-
I mean, it just. My wife, she hates it because I have like the weirdest random facts all the time, and like I like knowing those weird random facts.
Good at trivia, aren't you?
No, I suck
Really?
at trivia.
Really?
Because it
I love
seems like when I
trivia.
do trivia, it's never the shit that I know.
It's always
Right?
dumb
Like,
stuff.
yeah,
it's
because
always
like,
dumb stuff.
Yeah, like it's stuff that I should know, but there are times where I watch Jeopardy. I'm like, oh yeah, you know.
And she's like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
uh-huh.
funny story about Jeopardy before we go. So my grandparents, my grandma, my dad's mom, she loved Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Okay, she watched it every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my grandpa, who, and this is not uncommon, back, you used to be able to pass 6th grade, and then you can go get a job.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what both my grandfathers did,
Yeah.
right? Well, my dad's dad, he ended up being a truck driver. He was a teamster for his whole life, right?
Trucks are
Anyway,
cool.
so he was retired, and he wanted to beat my grandma at Jeopardy. Well, he wasn't smart enough, right?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
because I mean, not that he wasn't smart enough, but
Right.
like
He didn't
book
have
smart.
that side. Right.
Right. So somehow he figured out how to watch the Jeopardies before she watched them, because she would watch like a rerun or something.
She taped it or something.
And he'd sit there and start up, and he would say the answer.
Nah.
And
That drove her crazy, didn't it?
Oh God, yeah. But it didn't take very long for my grandma to figure it out, right? And yeah, so, but that's probably where I get my ornery from, is my grandfather on my dad's side, and even my mom, like my mom's side, like he was ornery. They're both mechanics. My grandfather raced. They used to call them jalopies.
Okay.
So it's all super modified.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's how my dad got involved, and then my mom's dad. They were always hot rod guys and paint booths and fixing stuff. Yes, cars, and so. But yeah, so it just. But then you meet guys that are in racing that never had a background of that.
It's strange to me because I've been around it my whole life, and my kids are around it, and they don't know any different. I mean, and that's my oldest one doesn't want anything to do with racing.
And there's nothing wrong with
He stays home with my mother-in-law and loves every second of it. And what? Almost every time, yeah. But he comes out sometimes. But
my cousin said Jeopardy. She heard me tell that story. Sorry.
You good?
No. Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, not at all.
If he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to.
No, and I tell them all the time. That's one of the main reasons I haven't pushed to get him into a car is I want to get all the stick and ball sports out of the way.
Yeah.
Racing will be there when you're older.
No matter what.
I didn't start running micros again until I was 16. Stopped for the soccer deal, and here we are still running micros. And
my dad got in a sprint car at 17.
Yeah.
Yep. My grandfather they lived on 5 acres, and he built a track out in their backyard, in back field, and that's why my dad learned how to race. And I just found this out, I promise you, only like 6 months ago. And so Hoagie's Garage asked to have my dad on.
Okay, nice.
And, dude, I've heard my dad's stories 1,000 times, it seems like, right?
Of course.
And I still love hearing them. But there was one story that I had no clue about. I'm listening to the show where they're at, and I had no clue. So my grandfather, when my dad was racing, to teach him how to navigate traffic, he would throw railroad ties out in front of my dad while he's. This is the God's honest truth. Because I was like, because my dad can be far fetched. You know what I mean? Like me, we can tell some tall stories. But I said, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, those little 4-footers."
Yeah, just toss them out.
He'd just toss them out in front of me, and I'd have to figure out how to get around. He goes, "Now, it wasn't the safest,
right?
You know, because if I hit something, I'd tear something up."
I had 3 tracks in the front yard at my grandparents' house growing up. We had a little flat cart my grandpa bought. He had to cut all the knobbies off the tires so I wouldn't tear the yard up too bad. Had 3 tracks. Had awesome. Creek County, which was around 2 trees, Tulsa, which was around 3 trees, and the big track at Oklahoma City, which was around all 6 trees.
Nice. That's awesome. Kim Offell, she said, Cole Kane did that at our house for weeks. We thought he was a genius back in the satellite days. That's awesome. That's awesome. Man, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I hope
this
you
was
had
a
a
lot
good
of fun. Man, this was so much fun.
Sorry we didn't have the casting couch here.
That's okay.
Dude, it's so comfortable.
Is it?
Oh,
it looks comfy. It looks so
comfortable.
comfy.
So comfortable.
Dude, your boy was chilling on it at the Chili Bowl.
Oh,
he was loving it.
Man, Luca. So we had Luca on the show here one night.
Yeah.
Oh, he took over and he
playing with race cars and everything else.
Shit and everything on it. Well, you say it, Daddy. No.
Yeah, you can't say that, bud. That's my daughter. She's a repeater also.
Yeah. Well, I hope you. I wish you the best of luck this year with Jet Motorsports and Eric Fenton. Obviously, it looks like you might have a ride in 2026. With Tanner
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Tanner's awesome.
And good luck in all your micro endeavors this year. You know I'll be around.
You're welcome anytime. You know that.
Go away.
We've always got pop water.
One last question.
Yeah.
One last question.
As many as you want.
Because you got to, I feel like you kind of helped mentor this kid, Brody McLaughlin.
Love old Big Mac. He's awesome.
The opportunity he gets this year.
Dude, that's about
super pumped for him.
About as best of a micro ride you can have with Harold.
So
dude, it's awesome.
When I found that out, I texted Gil and I said, hard work pays off.
Dude, he's grown so much, and Brody, a lot of people may not know, Gil doesn't know nothing about race cars.
I know.
Gil knows absolutely nothing.
I was helping over at D1 when they first got it going.
Yeah.
And they came and bought one of the old factory ones of Harley's.
Sawyer.
Or Sawyer.
It was Sawyer. Yeah.
It was
Sawyer's.
And so I was there.
Yeah.
When
dude.
And Gil was like, I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's still. And what I like about Gil is because he doesn't get involved.
Oh, he's involved.
I mean, he's involved.
He's involved.
But it's that. Why are we not doing good involved? Right?
Gil is so competitive.
Oh, dude.
Gil's great. I love Gil. I love Brody too. And man, I'm pumped to see what him and Harold can do. I mean,
yeah,
a little worried. When Brody gets stuff figured out. He's fast. He was fast in his cars. Like I mean,
I think he's gonna have a big year.
I'm a little worried that he is.
Because he's gonna beat you.
I think, yeah. No,
Brody's such a clean driver.
Bro, I could run 100 laps right next to Brody. Except for, he owes me a Nerf bar.
Does he?
He does. He slid me. We were running second and third. He slid me, and he had no chance of clearing me. He came into the pits. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that was Brody. 15 laps ago, Brody. Shit, we were past that.
Man, so when I was helping Ryder, him and Ryder, they touched or something, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. And Brody sent me a message, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to touch your driver." And I'm like, "Dude, you're good.
Dude, it's a racing deal."
I love that kid, man.
Brody's
he's so kind-hearted, but man, you put him in that car, and he's
on it. That's
awesome.
He said, "I'm excited to see what him and Harold can come up with." Harold's been around it for a long time.
Won a lot of races.
Super nice equipment. I mean,
look. Hank Davis.
Yeah, Hank, Connor. I mean, that's pretty good stuff. Yeah. I only wish that he was still at the Sawyer branch.
Yeah,
we can go back down that road, but
I think things change. Times change.
Of course,
you gotta try something.
Try something new, and you gotta go with what you think's gonna work.
But at the end of the day, it's all tubing.
It is. They're all race cars.
You have to figure out how to make it work no matter what. Because I guarantee you, what Steven Snyder's doing on his Hyper is not what Frank Flood's doing on his Hyper.
Frank Flood does different things than everybody else.
You can see that in the size of his left rear. Okay. So we'll leave that. So, again, I know it's like an Italian goodbye. I did time with my wife.
We could sit here and say thanks and everything 100 times, and then come up with more stuff.
So thank you again for coming by. Love to do it again sometime.
I'd love to.
Yeah,
we'll get Shane involved.
This is what bench racing is about, right?
Yeah.
We just sit here and we just talk some trash,
have some fun,
find out about people, and learn, and we'll do it again.
Okay.
You
need to get my uncle on here. I think he'd be a fun one to have on here. Kenneth. He's got some stories.
Oh, no, I know. Me and Kenneth are pretty good friends. I mean, not as much as, obviously, Justin Pataka is here, but back when I was around sprint cars when he was still racing.
Yeah.
And then got to watch Mickey. And I actually was fortunate enough to sweep the Mickey Walker with Reese Moran in the 2-barrel car.
Yeah.
So that was a special moment for me and for Reese.
It's one that I wish I would have picked up also. The micro run at Creek there.
Yeah.
Only had a few cars.
Could happen again.
Maybe.
So, but anyway, you get this boy home.
He's got school
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know he.
I can miss it.
You're going to school tomorrow.
You sound like my daughter now.
You have soccer practice tomorrow too.
Oh yeah, you don't go to school, you don't get soccer practice. Oh, here we go.
He's full. He's gonna be tough now.
Yeah.
The shies wore off.
Yeah. He's never been shy to me.
Nah, he's not normally.
Yeah, he's always.
He's my track rat.
His cast one time.
Did he let you?
I think he did.
I think he did.
Didn't he let me sign your cast? Yeah.
That was probably.
It was a leg.
It was a leg. Did you still have it on at the shootout? Or the Chili Bowl? No. KKM.
Mm-hmm.
It was the KKM. Because it was right before we went to Disney.
Yeah. Well, good luck this year.
Thank you. And thank you for having me out.
No, good luck in the micro, the midget, and I hope the best for you. And I know you'll have another successful year like you normally do. Thank you to everybody that came and joined us.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
We gotta do the whole pay the bills and all that stuff, and get big shout out to everybody that helps us. Obviously, Trifecta Motorsports, who lets us come and crash their place. Forge Construction, Kaiser Racing Wheels, Abilene Powder Coating, T2 Promotions, My Race Pass, Flying A Motorsports, Lambert Property Service, Permastone Countertop Solutions, Whitaker Glass, Ryder Mac Racing, One Way Performance, Arc Wrecking Company of Oklahoma, Wheeler Metals, WR1 Chassis, Hero Haven, Hasty Baked Charcoal Grills, Horizon Whiskey, Port City Raceway, and Hunter Hansen Racing.
You need more.
I do need more.
That is an awesome list.
I do need more. If
lot
you
of
are
really-
interested in being a part of the Lumber Lounge and Garage bench racing shows, please reach out to me. We do have pamphlets.
Yeah.
Pamphlets.
A lot of great people there.
Dude, I couldn't do it without all those people, especially the Chili Bowl shows. It's been epic for me, and bringing Shane on has changed the game. And
Shane's got some stories too.
oh, dude, we have so much fun. And what sucks is like every time he can't be on here. I mean, I know we razz him and stuff, but dude, he hates it. Like he loves coming and doing this. And so, so thank you everybody that came up on and checked us out. Please go to thelumberlounge.com and buy you some swag. I know you've had some swag.
I do.
He wears it in Victory Lane.
I do.
Do you want to be in Victory Lane? Because if you do, go to thelumberlounge.com, get you some swag, shirt, hat, hoodie, long sleeve t-shirt.
I need a new
whatever
hat.
it is.
I need a new
I
hat.
think I know a guy.
I'm gonna have to get on and order one.
All right.
I'll get one.
I might be able to take care of you.
Okay.
So thank you guys for coming to the Monday Night Live shows. We'll be back next week with a special show in Kansas. Actually, I'll be in
Kansas.
I'll be in Kansas next
All
week.
right.
So, thank you again for everybody that came out tonight and supporting the show. Chris, thank you again. Colton, thank you for coming and hanging out. And we'll see you guys. Bobby, Justin, love you guys. See you next week here at the Lumber Lounge and Garage bench racing live shows, wherever we may be. The couch will not be back next week either. I'm not taking it to Kansas. Yeah, get that big wave. Get that big wave.